If your players can unload a shotgun into an eldritch horror and watch it die, you are running a standard monster hunt. You are not running cosmic horror. True Lovecraftian terror has very little to do with physical mutation or tentacles. The core of the genre is the realization of humanity's insignificance in a vast, uncaring universe. Relying solely on a bizarre aesthetic robs your players of that existential dread. It reduces an unimaginable cosmic force to just another target with a health bar. To properly scale cosmic threats at your table, we use this diagram, a 3-tiered pyramid framework breaking the mythos into distinct encounter levels. At the base, we have the Servitors. The middle holds the Great Old Ones, and the apex is reserved for outer gods. Understanding and strictly applying this hierarchy is the essential tool for designing encounters that progressively strip away player agency and comfort over the course of a campaign. Servitor races, like the Deep Ones from Lovecraft or the Falmer from the Elder Scrolls, occupy the lowest tier. These are physical beings. They are often devolved or corrupted, but they are entirely biological. A typical encounter at this tier looks like a traditional tabletop session, cultists springing an ambush in a dark cavern, or investigators fighting their way out after uncovering strange texts. Because servitors threaten the player's physical survival, they can be engaged using standard combat mechanics. They take damage, they bleed, and they die. Tier 1 exists to give players a false sense of security. It allows them to feel powerful, because the threat can still be comprehended and physically killed. Tier 2 introduces the Great Old Ones, entities like Cthulhu or Hermaeus Mora. As this conceptual map shows, despite their physical forms, the true battleground is the mind. They operate by hoarding forbidden knowledge, manipulating dreams, and trapping players in mind-shattering pocket dimensions. Here's a quick test. Imagine a scenario where a massive, tentacled squid monster erupts from a warehouse and initiates combat. Which tier is this? Because the players can directly fight it, that monster is merely a Tier 1 servitor. A true Tier 2 entity threatens the players' minds long before they even open the warehouse door. If you are rolling standard combat initiative, you have failed to run a Tier 2 encounter. At the absolute peak are the outer gods, such as Azathoth, the Godhead, or the Void. These are limitless, formless manifestations of chaos that are entirely indifferent to mortals. A common mistake keepers make is giving an outer god hit points. Top-tier entities are never fought. They are only survived or completely avoided. Mechanically, a Tier 3 encounter happens at the environmental level. Gravity fails. Local geometry breaks. The concept of linear time disappears from the table entirely. This level of threat dissolves the fabric of reality itself. The player's goal shifts from winning the campaign to merely continuing to exist in a dissolving universe. Use this 3-tier framework to build a campaign architecture from the bottom up, starting against Tier 1 cultists. During the midpoint escalation, players discover a forbidden book, introducing the psychological influence of a Tier 2 Great Old One. The ultimate campaign climax arrives when the goal is not to fight the Great Old One, but to desperately prevent it from accidentally waking a Tier 3 outer god. This bottom-up escalation ensures the horror organically grows from manageable physical threats to unavoidable existential doom. To guarantee authentic cosmic dread at the table, use this Keeper's cheat sheet. For Tier 1 servitors, it is a physical threat. The rule is, if it bleeds, it belongs here. For Tier 2 Great Old Ones, it is a psychological threat. The rule is, if it demands worship or hoards forbidden knowledge, it belongs here. And for Tier 3 outer gods, it is an existential threat. The rule is, if it ignores the players but breaks the laws of physics, it belongs here. Adhering to this strict categorization prevents falling into the trap of just adding tentacles to monsters. It forces your players to face true cosmic horror.